Premiership is back after quite a break. I've never done a preview on a Premiership game before, but with the way things are going in the world, why not do one now? If you're new to my channel, essentially I do previews, reviews, dream teams, power rankings, jersey reviews, all that kind of stuff on rugby, usually with probably a slight more Southern Hemisphere focus, given I am from New Zealand. Super Rugby is my main one, but Super Rugby here in New Zealand is about to come to an end. Australia's got a few weeks to go. The Premiership's getting underway, and a few people have also suggested why not have a look at the Premiership. I'm not sure I'll be able to see all the games every week, but this one is on at a reasonable hour, 6:45 a.m. On Saturday morning. It's a Friday game in the UK, so it's on at a reasonable hour for me here in New Zealand, so I figure I will watch this game tomorrow my time. And I watch the Premiership every now and again from time to time when it's on at a reasonable hour. And but I'm certainly very much a novice at understanding the goings on of the Premiership. So do let me know, you guys who are hardcore Premiership fans, like who should I be looking out for. I'll give you some thoughts on like the lineups and some of the guys that I'll be looking out for, but definitely will be keen to hear your guys' insights as well. So from a look at the table, and I knew Sale were doing fairly well this season. I didn't know they were up to second. So Sale are in second, and they are playing Quins at the Stoop. And Quins are in seventh. The last time I played, I looked it up, and it is pretty much ancient history at this point, but it was 48 points to 10 in round 8, which is all the way back in January, which, as we sit here in August, feels like an absolute lifetime ago. But 48-10, that's a bit of a hiding. So I'm sure the Harlequins guys would like to make amends for that loss, even if it is in the distant memory. And I'm sure with the Sharks guys, they'll be wanting to basically push as much as they can in terms of on the log, because when I look at them in second, they are 5 points behind Exeter. Exeter I've seen some of their stats. They look phenomenal. They score that many bloody tries. But, all Sale can do is try to keep winning. So, an away win at Quins would certainly be most welcome. In terms of the lineups, Marla's there at loose head. Baldwin and Kerrod make out the front row. I know Stefan Levis pretty well from his days in Super Rugby, so it's good to see him there. Matt Simmons, James Chisholm, Chris Robshaw. Why did I think he'd left, or is he leaving next year for America, or has that been called off? I have not been following the news about him. I was under the impression he was off to America, but maybe it's just not happened yet. The main guy I look at when I see this lineup and get very keen to watch this game is to see Alex Dombrandt. I want to see him basically causing havoc from the back of that Quins pack. I know there were big calls to put him into that England lineup, but he still seems to be kind of on the outer with Eddie Jones, so I'm keen to see how he goes. Landajo, I'm also pretty familiar with at number 9. And Marcus Smith, definitely exciting young player. Is he even that young now? I'm not even sure how old he is. He feels like a guy who's been a young guy for quite some time. Lang and Marchant, 12 and 13. Marchant's been down here in New Zealand with the Blues until recently. So he actually, by the time Super Rugby resumed, he was kind of struggling for game time because the Blues were putting Rico Ioane in at 13. So he was kind of out of the 23 for a while. But he did play in our last game. Earl and Ashton are the wings. I didn't actually realize Ashton had left Sale, which is speaks to my own lack of keeping up with the news. But I see he's going to play his first game for Quins. That'd be pretty sweet if he can get a try against his former team. And Mike Brown is there at fullback for Sale. I will admit the Sale lineup is probably a touch more familiar to me because there's a bunch of South Africans in there. And I've seen a lot of these guys play in the Super Rugby. Connor Oosthuizen, Aka van der Merwe, We'll give John, I know, obviously, from his time with Wales. Jean-Luc Dupria, to be fair, I haven't seen him play lock before. He was always a loosey when I saw him down here in Super Rugby, so I'm keen to see how he goes. Has that been a regular thing in the Premiership, or is he standing in? Diaka is there. I don't think he's debuted for Sale as yet, because I remember when they signed him, he was injured. But he is absolute class, and the South Africans are blessed with depth in the second row, so I'm sure he'll do a great job. Ross Curry and Dan Dupria make out the rest of the back row. So they got both Dupria brothers playing plus Tom Curry. Another South African in Faf de Klerk, and another South African in Robert Dupria. So you got actually 3 Duprias playing. I mentioned 2. The brother Rob, who I think he only had like 1 game for the Springboks. Big fella. I'm assuming from... I remember when he was on loan at Sale Sharks, because he was signed from the South African Sharks, which is helpful. He was playing pretty well. I know he was kicking lots of points and generally just being very useful. So, and Faf de Klerk's one of the best 9s in the world. Hill and Tuilangi. Tuilangi is probably the other big story, given that he's going to get his debut for Sale after his big move, so hopefully have a good game. And Yard, McGuigan and Hammersley make out the back 3. So yeah, like I said, Southern Hemisphere fella, I am definitely more familiar with the South Africans than everybody else, but how Tuilangi goes and how Dombrand goes will probably be my 2 main guys to watch. But as I said, that's mainly because those are kind of big name guys who I'm more used to watching, because I watch the Champions Cup and I watch as much as I can of the other rugby, but by the time Super Rugby's played all their games, I don't often have time to sit down and watch the Premiership games as well. I'll have a look at Rugby Forecast algorithm to see who is preferred in this one. If I can find it. Here it is. And they've actually got Quins to beat Sale by 1 point. So Rugby Forecast algorithm's got Quins by a point, so keeping it pretty tight. I don't know how this one's going to go. I legit have no idea. I like both the lineups. I'm definitely not as au fait with all the guys as you guys are, so do let me know who else I should be looking for. I didn't go over the benches, but you guys can tell me who's going to make a good impact from there as well. Yeah, Sailor one's on the table, but the algorithm's got Quins. What do you guys reckon? It's been such a long time between drinks, it's kind of hard to gauge what kind of form these guys will be in. But either way, it should be an interesting watch. If you guys are in New Zealand like me, it's an early morning game, 6:45. I have little kids, so I'll be up to watch the game. But if you are in the UK, it should be a decent time. Nice Friday night game for you guys. Have a beer, watch some rugby. Should be good to have the old code back. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.